Is Charli D'Amelio failing out of school? Here is everything we know. I'm Gabby Conti, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. You might forget that even though Charli D'Amelio is the most followed person on TikTok, she is still a 16-year-old girl who is in high school. And now it looks like Charli's fame has actually been hurting her grades. Before Hollywood, Charli and Dixie attended King's School, a private institution in Stamford, Connecticut, where Dixie graduated from in 2020. But once Charli's career picked up, she switched to online schools to accommodate her busy schedule. Last year, Charli talked to Variety about her online class load, which she ironically started months before the country went into lockdown by saying, quote, "I'm able to work my hours of schooling around that, and I can do them a little bit earlier and get them done." Everyone was like, "Did you drop out of school?" And I was like, "No, I do school online." And they were like, "That's not real school." And now everyone is doing it. Touche. Yeah, that is kind of funny to think about. Like, I remember when people were like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing school online," like pre-pandemic. It didn't feel like real school, but now that is real school, and that is how everyone seems to be in school right now. Another reason Charli opted for online school as opposed to in-person school, aside from her busy schedule, was she was also dealing with some, quote, uncomfortable moments at her school due to her growing fame. As she told Variety, quote, "At first, I was really uncomfortable because when TikTok started, it was kind of like, oh, you're on TikTok? That's weird." So I wouldn't tell people. Someone would come up to me and maybe ask for a picture, and then someone else would be like, "Oh, how do they know you? Like, what are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I do social media, I don't know." And I would get super uncomfortable, end quote. I love how Charli used to say she just does social media. Like, everyone does social media, but Charli, I mean, at the time she wasn't as big as she is now, but now is the most followed person on TikTok and almost like a household name. I feel like everyone in Gen Z knows who Charli D'Amelio is. Now it seems like Charli is struggling with her online classes. Charli and Dixie were just on David Dobrik's podcast, Views, where they opened up about Charli's grades. As Charli said, "Right now I'm working a lot, so it's obviously hard to fit everything in." She later admitted that she is, quote, "failing every class." But at the time, Charli also admitted that she is still trying to, quote, "figure out how she can balance her schoolwork and career," which is something most of her classmates don't have to deal with. And Charli really did spill the tea on David Dobrik's podcast, because before giving that answer, she asked David, "What do you want to hear, the truth or what my parents want me to say?" So her parents, Mark and Heidi, want Charli to say that school's going great, but the reality is it's a struggle, and I get it to be a struggle. I mean, high school was hard enough as it is, just the class loads and like the classes you were doing, and if you were to give me that work now, I probably also would fail. Charli also explained, quote, "It's not my fault. I thought it was like a flexible school where I didn't have to. I'm doing an extreme school curriculum. It's like 6 classes a day." Dixie chimed in that Charli's class load is actually, quote, "normal," but Charli reminded her sister, quote, "No, but I'm also working a full-time job." Charli has been working nonstop, and it's not just making TikToks and doing dances. She also had a book come out a few months ago. She has a podcast with her sister, 2 shows with her family, plus their YouTube channel, not to mention all of her brand deals and partnerships. That is a lot for any 16-year-old, let alone a 16-year-old who's also in school. Charli told Dobrik that she is trying hard to get better at balancing her course load and career. As she said, quote, "So we're figuring out a new school thing, but I was trying really, really hard, and things just kind of got a bit ahead of me, as it did with most kids who are doing online school right now." It's true. Online school is also challenging as it is because you're not in a classroom, so it's really easy to get distracted. Plus, if you have a crazy life that you're balancing, juggling online classes, that could really, really feel like a lot. So I do feel for Charli. But the good news is, Charli, you're 16. I'm guessing you're either a sophomore or a junior in high school. Only 2 more years to go. And I really do hope that she does complete her schoolwork, because we've seen that with actors before. It's really important to have that diploma at least through high school, and then if your career takes off, that's great too, but it's really good to have that balance. What do you think about Charli failing out of school? Do you get it? Let us know. I'm Gabby Conti, and follow us here at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.